Welcome, sinners, to the Cinaman podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Tyler, and today we have a special guest with us, probably going to be with us indefinitely. We got a new Cinaman Nick.
Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate being here. I've listened to all your stuff. It's amazing, and I can only hope I contribute to it.
A long-time listener, first-time caller?
Yes, definitely, so to speak. Yeah, no doubt.
All right, what's today's episode?
Today's episode is about a funny writer, director, Nicholas Stoller. He's the director of the recently released Neighbors 2, out in theaters. Apparently it's pretty good. Go see it. You guys saw that today?
It's not too bad. Yeah, we both went together to check it out.
And better than the first one. Not as good. I thought the first one was pretty good, so I don't know. This one would have to be... It looks kind of like a rehash of the plot.
I'd say it's pretty similar. I definitely put it above the first one, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah, definitely very Hollywood-like, sequel-esque, like follows a lot of the same story points of the first one. But, yeah, I don't know. It was definitely as good as the first one, at least. Definitely did not fail.
Is it like The Hangover 2 compared to The Hangover 1?
No. It's like
same
if it's backwards,
routine, but like new tricks.
No, it seems pretty similar. It's got the same basic concept. Not instead of a frat, it's a sorority that moves in next door.
Right, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know. It was very much like The Hangover in the sense that they found a way to like bring back old favorites from that one and then sort of try to make them relevant for this one and have them there,
right.
Which was cool. But it's like, do we need them? I don't know.
Well, that's actually one thing they actively took out was callbacks to the first movie. I think they did like a read through on some of the stuff being brought in from the first one, and they said it didn't work as well, so they took it all out. There was a couple bits that were still
maybe there to pay homage or something.
Yeah, there was a couple of the airbag scenes, which isn't really spoiling anything because that was in one of the trailers, I believe.
Yeah, plus they mentioned the bros before hoes plan. Or hoes before bros in this one. They
I think
we'll pull out a classic.
I think that one was supposed to be like, it could be a standalone. You don't have to see the first one to understand that hoes come after bros.
I just figured with his line of, hey, let's sort of pull out this classic, like, we've used it before. Anyone who's seen the first one will know. I just figured that was their throwback there. I don't know.
Well,
first up, you're not a bro if you don't know that the hoe comes after the bro.
Always after.
Always.
Bros before hoes, except after Joes
or foes.
Foes.
They even say in the movie it's never been done.
Bros before hoes. And not after foes. I don't know. There's something there.
With 4 bros in here, I can look at every one of you and probably say hoes every time came after. Hopefully, right?
Every single time.
Hopefully.
Anyways.
They did make a reference to him having a criminal record because of the first one, and that was their claim that it was the only reference to the first one, was the fact that he couldn't get a job now because he's got a criminal record thanks to them.
Talking about Teddy? Or Seth Rogen?
No,
or Efron?
Efron.
Okay, all right. Is Franco in this one? Mini Franco?
Yep.
And Christopher Mintz-Plasse?
Yeah. I don't want to ruin too much about it. There is a little twist to Franco's character in this one, which I actually thought was kind of nice, like a nice change of pace. I didn't really see it coming.
I felt like once he kind of started going, I was like, okay, are we taking a step? Because I kind of wondered if it was going to make an appearance in the first one, and it didn't. And then this one, I was like, okay, so I don't know. Not out of left field, maybe right field.
There was a refreshing lack of dick jokes in this one.
Definitely. I 100% agree.
They were still there. There were still a couple there, but they were better and more
Fraction
subtle.
of the amount.
Right.
And definitely what he said more
and
so.
If less but better, I think, is better than plenty.
It obviously had some period jokes. You do the gender swap thing.
Sure.
So if you're doing a gender swap on a movie that already makes dick jokes, you have to throw in some period jokes. And there was a cool bit where Zac Efron gets all offended by them. I don't know. Should I? I guess I could. There's gonna be slight spoilers.
Shoot, do it.
So you've been warned. The girls throw used tampons at the next door neighbor's house.
That's
right?
disgusting.
And Zac Efron comes down the stairs and he's like, "Where'd you guys get all that fake blood?" And Chloe Grace Moretz was like, "Our vaginas?" He's like, "Oh my God, that's so gross. You guys went over the line." She's like, "You guys would think it was funny if it was a bag of dicks." And then he starts thinking about it, and he's like,
yeah, he like ponders it, and he's like, yeah, bag of dicks. Yeah,
bag
he
of
kind of
dicks.
has like a walk off.
He was like, well, yeah, he even admitted, he's like, oh, you guys got me. That's funny.
Bag of dicks.
Bag of dicks.
That's awesome. Man. I really liked Efron was totally able to like pull out that, college alpha jock fraternity guy. Like, you ever seen the movie Animal House? Like Zac Efron was like the
I
president
actually
of that house.
haven't seen Animal House.
Oh my goodness. Nick, you know what I'm talking about though?
Yeah, Animal House.
Like he captured that.
See, I think you'll disagree with me. I didn't like Efron in the first one so much. He was okay. He was good.
Well, you wanted to hate him in the first one because
I guess so.
Kind of the dick, you know.
He was definitely a lot better in the second one, though.
Yeah.
His character had a lot more emotional development. Like, the whole movie is about not wanting to take the next step in life.
Right.
Like, they wanted to keep the theme the same from the first one. And the theme of the first one isn't fraternity moves in next door. It's being scared to take the next step. So, they just bought their first house. And to parallel that, Efron is going through having to graduate from school and not know what to do next. So not only are they scared to take the next step, but so is the fraternity.
Good. I'm glad to see his character went
Well,
down a decent path. Continuing school, I guess.
No, he was working at Abercrombie and Fitch still, but
Right.
they didn't need shirtless models anymore. So, do you remember what he was doing?
Was he doing anything? Was he working?
I
I just kind of thought he was between jobs.
I think he might have been between jobs.
But he had a place with Dave Franco's
Okay,
character.
all right.
And then you kind of meet the crew there, like Garth and Christopher Mintz-Plasse.
Yeah,
Scooney.
Scooney.
So they show up and you kind of see him and it's like, oh, hey, yeah. So that's kind of part of his, like, I still got my boys with me. Like, it's still kind of like college and things progress from there. He has to move on.
Yeah, he has to move on, get his own place. So he ends up mentoring the sorority on how to start their sorority, right? And he just wants to feel needed. Because, like, the sorority kind of has enough with him after a while and kicks him out, and that's when he teams up with
They call him the old people, and he's like, I've been playing for the wrong team. And that's when he's like, all right, guys, I'll see you again.
Yes.
I'm glad Nicholas Stoller was able to do a comedy successfully without Jason Segel. Segel?
Yeah.
Segel? The guy from How I Met Your Mother? That guy? Not that the other three were bad, but I'm glad he was able to branch out and do something, and it was a success. Even got a sequel. Go him.
He hasn't, to me, branched out of that rat pack, though, of characters. If it's not Seth Rogen, it's Jason Segel. He
Jason
didn't.
Segel.
Yeah, Segel.
Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
I love
Rose Byrne.
Yeah, Rose Byrne. Sorry, that's what I meant.
I love when actors have a group to work with, because it seems like you get the best work when you work with people that you like.
Yeah.
And that's why they keep doing that,
I do agree with you. And he hasn't taken the step out of comedy either, but I would just like to see him expand who he works with is all, I guess. I don't know. I feel like I can only see so much of those movies, like of those guys teaming up, because it's kind of the same thing. Like, you're getting the same jokes, sort of just kind of recycled between movies, in my opinion. I don't know.
He's good at casting the women. Like, I think, instead of just like rehashing, I think he used Rose Byrne twice or, 2 or 3 times, whatever. But
Stoller in general?
yeah,
I think that's something he does really well, is like, even though it's kind of the same old romantic comedy, awkward style.
they're all about life.
That's
like,
true.
if you think about it.
And at least the women in there are like really independent, like strong women.
Yeah.
Like Sarah Marshall, maybe she was a bitch, but she was working.
Yeah.
The other
Kunis's
chick,
character,
the
yeah.
reason in the 5-year engagement they don't get along is because she has to move for her dream job.
Yeah.
Get him to the Greek. That woman never stops working. And it's like all of his female roles are really strong, independent.
And they're also part of the comedy. They're not, it's not just like the guy hitting her with one-liner, and she's there for nothing. They're adding to it.
Yeah.
Rose Byrne is a funny actress. Emily Blunt is a funny actress.
Was she Jackie Q
Yeah.
in Get Him to the Greek?
Yeah. Her.
Yeah,
she's the wife
I
of
love her.
Neighbors. Yeah. She's funny.
Well, Get Him to the Greek was her first comedy, and she was amazing in that.
Yeah.
So good.
Especially doing something as like, I don't know, like weird or quirky or awkward, whatever you want to call it. Nailed it.
Yeah, that would be a tough one to like dive into for first comedy trip. A run with those guys and Russell Brand, that could have been tough. But she what you guys said, she killed it. She did a good job.
What do you guys think of Russell Brand?
I like Russell Brand.
We should see more of Russell Brand, I think. And he's really smart. Like, I mean, you don't
Really
see it so much in
yeah.
his movies, but like he does like his own. He's got kind of his own shows, but he does know a lot more than I think he lets on or lets people in.
Yeah, he's like real political, real outspoken.
Knows his shit.
I wish he would do. Yeah, I wish he would do more acting though. I thought Arthur was funny.
Arthur wasn't. I didn't think Arthur was that great. I don't remember it too much, so maybe I'm
Yeah,
misremembering, but I
yeah,
don't
there's
remember it
moments.
being extravagant.
Yeah, that's probably what it is because it was pretty great to me. I'm just
Well, did you watch it with your kid?
no, I did not.
Oh, well,
That was
isn't
with
that more of a kid's movie?
That was with an ex-girlfriend.
It's also a remake, which I hear is way better.
Yeah, also true.
Like, I mean, the OG version's way better.
The only problem I had in getting to the Greek, I thought was gonna be the trailers to me did not look interesting, and I think it was because, and I still have trouble getting over this, Jonah Hill being in that universe as a different character. Like,
It
yeah,
doesn't
he
bother
made
me
it
at all.
funny, and it's hard to imagine anyone else doing it. But I think, like, there's always that part of me that's like, oh man, I can't get past that. Like,
I did have a hard time with that too. When it came out, everyone was like, sequel to Sarah Marshall, but he's not the same character. And I was like, I'm having a hard time with that one.
Well,
What do you mean?
I think that's all on you, man, because I think sort of sequels are the best way to do comedy sequels. Like, when you look at Knocked Up and This Is 40, those are amazing movies, but they don't have to be the same tone. They don't have to be the same thing. They can be different while still retaining some of the great aspects of the first one. So then you look at Sarah Marshall and Get Him to the Greek, and I think individually those are great movies. Plus, you get the excitement of, like, when he's on the plane and he sees Sarah Marshall on the TV and he's like, I think I had sex with her.
Well, yeah, but
You know?
in This Is 40, aren't they playing the exact same characters?
So is Russell Brand, though.
Well, that's
But Jonah
one
Hill's
of your
not.
main
That's
leads.
why it's a sort of sequel. That's why it's a
Right,
spin-off
it's like a
and not...
quasi-sequel.
Right.
I mean, I get that, but
I'm
it's
saying
like,
I think it would have worked better if you could do that someone.
yeah,
else.
both your main leads, and one of them is the same and one's not. That is what kind of threw me.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, two different people.
I struggled with it, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm all about.
Well, I just didn't overthink it, so I enjoyed
I'm
it.
a literal guy, man. You
I looked at it realistically.
That's an end in Hollywood that's loose that you can tie that shit up to drop
Okay,
it in.
pretend Sarah Marshall didn't exist. Did you like Get Him to the Greek?
Yeah.
That's my favorite one
even
out of all
forgetting-
of his movies.
Even if Forgetting Sarah Marshall came on after that, I'd be like, why is Jonah Hill playing a different guy? Ruins the whole thing for me.
But it didn't ruin it. You said you liked it. So how is
Right.
that being ruined?
No, I didn't ruin it. I'm just saying there's that little part in my mind that's like,
Yeah, because I still picture him as like that dumb waiter from Forgetting Sarah Marshall, where he's like, hey, holds up his hand for the 5, gets denied, and he's like, oh, I'm a big fan. And then in this one, he's like, I'm just like a record guy all of a sudden. I'm out in LA making my own fortune. I no longer live in Hawaii, and I'm successful with a successful girl. And that threw me for a sequel. I had a hard, sequel. Threw me for a loop. I had a hard time.
That threw me
getting
for a
past that.
sequel.
Threw me for a sequel and a sequel.
No,
I was
so
good as
his
a
his
dumb
8
waiter.
minutes of screen time on Sarah Marshall threw you that much.
Whoa.
It's the idea of we're crafting a universe, and we're showing you that by taking this character and telling you about his journey, but we're also giving you this character we've seen before, reshaping his role, hoping you just kind of forgot about it and selling it to you.
Let's say Chris Evans' Captain America entered the same universe as his Fantastic Four. What are you gonna do? They're
Who
like, Cap, I didn't know you had a freaking fiery twin. That's crazy.
who is telling you that it's the same universe?
Because he's the same
Because
guy
he's the same guy.
in Infant Sorrow.
It could be an alternate universe where he just happens to be the lead singer of Infant Sorrow in both of them, but Jonah Hill's character
I don't
took a
think
whole...
they thought,
They have different names,
I don't
I'm
think
sure.
Stephen Hawking was quite the influence on this movie. I think Nicholas Stoller dropped a bomb on us. But I'm gonna forgive him because I like the movie though. Positive note. Way better than I thought it was gonna be.
Nick, did you like it?
I Get Him to the Greek in my of the few movies that Nick Stoller has done. Get Him to the Greek takes its place at the bottom for me. Sorry, it didn't look interesting when it came out. I tried to give it a chance. You guys said it was awesome, and I was like, ooh, I just walked away in shambles.
What about you, Tyler?
I had a few laughs actually. I had a few laughs, but it still takes its.
What's at your bottom, Tyler?
But the bottom is... if we're just talking directed, movies he directed?
Right, just those four.
Yeah.
Forgetting. Okay, I guess we can throw Neighbors in there.
Well,
if we're gonna include all
let's
four.
let's name all 4 or 5 or whatever it is.
We
got-
have Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Get Him to the Greek, 5-Year Engagement, and Neighbors 1 and 2.
So that's 5.
Let's rule out the 2 Neighbors and let's say Jason
No.
Segal's movies.
You gotta count them
Why
all.
would you rule out Neighbors? Neighbors is the bottom of the list.
I thought we already talked about Neighbors, and now we're on to.
No, Neighbors is the bottom of the list. Neighbors 1 is the very bottom. for
Really?
me. Yeah.
Dude, wow.
And it goes Neighbors 1, Neighbors 2.
Are you
I would
ju-
have to see 5-Year Engagement more, but that and Sarah Marshall are next, and then Get Him to the Greek at
You
the
don't
top.
hate Seth Rogen, do you? You're not one of those anti-Seth Rogen
No, of course
guys?
not. I
Okay.
love Seth Rogen.
Just saying, it's kind of feeling like that.
I just think the first one was too many just dick jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, okay, yeah, he's choking.
Yeah, those-
Scooney's choking her with his giant dick. That's hilarious. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Get Him to the Greek. Neighbors definitely be like dick jokes playing a massive part of that. 5-Year Engagement, Sarah Marshall, Neighbors 2.
in
You
the
put Neighbors 2 at the top?
I had a good laugh at it. Yes.
I really enjoyed it as well. Yeah, I don't know. 5-Year Engagement was way better than I thought it was going to be.
Neighbors could be number 2, Neighbors 1, but
I think Neighbors is my top.
Like the just dropping dick bag bombs on you the whole movie, and I was like, I can't do it, can't hang.
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I'm a huge
Fun.
Seth Rogen fan. I think Neighbors is my top.
Neighbors is number 1 for you.
Bottom to top for me. 5-Year Engagement, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Get Him to the Greek, Neighbors 1.
5-Year Engagement was your worst?
That was my worst.
That came out of left field. That was so funny.
Not that okay, and that was actually better than what I remember the first time. I actually hated the shit out of it the first time. This one, it was good. I mean, it's got too. I don't know. Like I don't like a movie that takes me to too real of a place. And when I said too real, I had quotation marks. Sinners, note that. I don't want to get that deep in life and shit. That just takes the fun out of it for me. But the movie had its funny moments. I will give it that.
One thing
Say worst of the 4.
I kind of wish you didn't get a happy ending in that movie. I don't know why, but it just seemed a little forced. It's like, oh, they're having all this turbulence, and all of a sudden, boom, there's this cute, quirky wedding that happens. Boom, out of nowhere, we love each other. All of our problems are gone.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that. Yeah, that's 5-Year Engagement was funny. I don't know. Emily Blunt, I'm able to overlook any flaws I had with it because Emily Blunt is just.
Which one is she?
Good. She's the wife, like Jason Segel's
She's okay.
spouse in
Wasn't
5-Year Engagement.
the girl from Community in that one? Brie Larson or something?
Yeah, she was the
Oh, yeah, she's
Emily
way,
Blunt's sister.
she's way
married
hotter.
to Chris Pratt.
She's way hotter. Chris Pratt, yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome that
Love
Chris Pratt was in there.
It was weird seeing him that
Haji?
big.
Yeah.
Brie Larson's not in 5-Year Engagement.
Which one? Or is it
Allison Brie Allison.
Allison Brie?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of the Bries.
Allison Brie. Well, yeah, okay. Either way, I don't know. Chris Pratt, and it was weird seeing him like.
Big.
Yeah, obviously I didn't watch at the time when it like was probably normal. But
For you Parks and Rec fans, I believe he's at his prime as Andy Dwyer on Parks and Rec when this movie came out, right? I believe during that time, Parks and Rec was.
Allison Brie? It was Allison
Is it
Brie.
Allison Brie? All right, we have confirmation. It was Allison Brie.
The only reason I know this was because I was listening to another podcast this week, and they got the same two people mixed up. So I made a mental note to try to remember which one it actually was.
I got your back.
So, okay, which out of the love interests did you guys like the best?
Oh man, you know, out of all the movies, or out of 5-Year Engagement.
All of them.
Oh, okay. So out of all the movies, oh man, who doesn't like Mila Kunis? First of all, but Emily Blunt's got an accent, and for me, aside her character being like that, she conducted the dumb experiment in the movie, and then was like, I broke up my relationship because of it. Like aside from that part of her character, an accent will do a lot for me.
That will take me many places. Yes. Yeah, I agree. You have an accent, you automatically go up like 2 points
2 points.
on a scale of 10. I mean, it's
I'm either going Neighbors, just because I love her. I think she's awesome.
yeah, I agree. Also with an accent. She's my choice. Calling
or,
it right now.
Or Allison Brie. I don't know why. I just like her. I'm a big Community fan, and, you know.
See, I only thought she was all right in the movie, but I will not doubt you in her comedic skills on Community. She was all right. She's definitely good looking, though.
That's true.
Kristen Bell, Sarah Marshall herself is, I mean, Dak Shepard's wife. She's pretty hot. She can be hot.
She cheated on him. Fuck her.
On who?
And Sarah Marshall.
Sarah Marshall.
Oh, in the movie?
Yeah.
Why are you holding a grudge?
That's
Yes.
your real life grudge against her.
That's
is
my
based
real
on
life
that movie?
grudge.
I got you.
I can look, but I will not touch her unless she touches me first.
If she makes you an offer, send me in your place.
Do the old darkroom switch?
We'll switcheroo.
Okay.
I will gladly take that bullet for you if that's how you feel about it.
Hey, man. It's all yours.
What do you think about his old, like his writing stuff? Fun with Dick and Jane, Yes Man.
Even, and this is what I meant too by him always working with that pack. Even the stuff he's written has managed to find those actors. Muppets, Sex Tape. Okay, Fun with Dick and Jane and Yes Man were Jim Carrey. Gulliver's Travels was Jack Black.
Sex Tape was other people.
Most of his work has managed to find that pack, and I guess that could just be Apatow or something like
Well,
taking
Muppets 1 and
everything and just
2,
running with it.
I'm sure there's a reason Jason Segel's in that. And because wasn't it his dream to do the...
Oh yeah, I mean, by coincidence or not, that they ended up, like being all those, working together on all those is just I want to see him do something outside of it. I want to see him write and direct, or both, do something that none of them are a part of. I want to see him take another group of actors and like shape them.
I think we get enough of other actors in other movies. I think you should do what you're good at. And I don't think he's the kind of director that can go out and make some visionary masterpiece. He's great at working with the actors that he's been working with, letting them do their thing with the dialogue, a lot of improv. And I think you get the strongest improv when you're comfortable with your surroundings, when you're used to working with the same people. You kind of know each other, you can riff off of each other, and it really makes the experience a little bit better, I think. I have no problem with seeing these people together.
I think he's just one of those, he's good at bringing out the best in, like, the actors he's working with. Like, he just provides that kind of comfort. Obviously, him and Jason Segel.
Well, it also goes along with his
Jason
connection
Segel.
to
Sorry.
Judd Apatow, I think. Like, he's the whole reason that he got into this in the first place. Because Stoller got a job working for an animated Austin Powers series that never came out. It was supposed to be on HBO, and he got hired as a writer. It never got aired, but he got his agent from that, right? And through that, he got to work on Undeclared with Apatow. And then a little bit later, he wanted to help Jason Segel, or Segel. Now you got me saying it.
I know, man. I'm sorry.
Jason Segel. He wanted to help him through the writing process on Sarah Marshall, and then he would direct, and Apatow let him do that. Like, it's really like a comedy family. Like, Apatow's got his fingers in so much stuff, and it's awesome.
Yeah, he's got so many connections, so many, regulars out there.
Yeah.
Like Seth Rogen, obviously.
So they've just built up this incredible network, and now they can just make the movies that they like to make. And I don't think the budgets are particularly high, but I'm sure they bring in a good amount of money.
They must if they keep pumping these out. Yeah, he's got a pretty good resume though of things. I mean, Sex Tape was okay. He's dipped into the R-rated and the more child-friendly stuff, side of comedy with Muppets.
Storks. He's got Storks coming out.
That's right. Yeah, the animated movie Storks he's directing.
Did he write? He wrote Zoolander too.
Yeah, I think he was a writer on
tanked.
Zoolander too.
I heard that tanked at the box office. I heard that sucked.
I think that was kind of.
But I can't judge. I'm not going to be that guy. I have not seen either Zoolander. So
I thought it
wanna
was
say,
destined
I am
to
just
fail.
simply giving out other reviews. They all said the same thing.
I didn't like number 1. Number 2 did not look.
Well, first of all, number 1 is a masterpiece. So you're wrong, but it's okay. Number 2, it's just been too long. I think once something goes this long,
It had the Anchorman 2 treatment. It took too long, and when it came out, it wasn't good.
yeah, Anchorman 2. There was another one that got a sequel that tanked, wasn't there? Joe Dirt. Joe Dirt just got a sequel.
Yeah, that came in and out of theaters in like the blink of an eye.
I didn't even know it went to theaters. I thought.
I don't know if
just
it
video on
did go
demand,
to.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was just like a Hulu exclusive or something.
Looking at Stoller's past with Jim Carrey, Fun with Dick and Jane, and Yes Man. First off, I love those two movies, and maybe that's just because I'm a uber Jim Carrey fan.
Dick and Jane is good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've seen Yes Man. I do like that. I've not seen Dick and Jane.
Apatow actually produced Fun with Dick and Jane as well, but I don't think not on Yes Man.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Who's the female lead in Dick and Jane? Isn't that?
Tia Leone.
Yeah. Okay. Jurassic Park 3 girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spanglish girl. Gotcha.
And even she's funny in that.
Yeah, that whole movie was really good.
You should give that a watch. I haven't seen that one. It's Yes Man. Did you like that, Tyler?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I was really, really big on Yes Man for a long time. I came back to it recently, and it wasn't as funny as I remembered, but I still definitely like it.
Through repetition, probably lost
Yeah.
all its comedy
definitely.
purposes.
Maybe when you rewatch Zoolander 1, you'll discover it actually sucks. That's a thought.
Well, Sinners, I'm going to be setting up Nick's email here soon, nick@cinamen.com. Tell him how much you love Zoolander and how much he's just wrong.
If you'll just comment and please tell my host, Tyler, that there are better movies out there and you don't have to torture yourself with Zoolander. You should probably skip it.
I guess it's settled, Cinamen. Nick had a streak of 1 week, and now we're going to be replacing him.
It's been fun. I'm outie. I'll be here. I'll just listen next week.
Yeah.
I'll do better
Maybe
next
you
time.
should.
Kelsey Grammer did make his way into Neighbors 2. A couple. Of
Yeah,
cameos
I did
in
not
this.
expect that.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
A couple cameos in that
He
one.
does. He plays Chloe Moretz's dad, I think, in the movie, and
Gosh.
so he shows up for a brief second, but it's pretty funny.
I like the few cameos in the first Neighbors.
Oh,
Jake Johnson as the guy who created the boot.
Lonely
the Boot and
Island.
Rally.
Yeah, there's Lonely Island, and then there's those guys from
Workaholics.
Yeah, I thought, and they put him in like the best flashback scenes. Like these were like legends in the house.
I think
was
that was-
like, dude, that's
Yeah.
fucking awesome, man.
Those were the best clips in the whole movie.
That's like
Yeah.
perfect product placement almost, like
Yeah.
with those guys.
Well, now Adam Devine and Zac Efron are doing them.
Yeah, that's right. They
In
have a
a
movie
movie.
coming out together.
Have you seen the preview for that?
They're doing what?
They have an R-rated comedy coming out together.
Yeah,
So and so need prom dates or something like that.
Yeah, they need to get. No, they don't get prom dates. They need dates
Wedding
for their sister's wedding.
Whatever, same thing.
And then Aubrey Plaza and
Mike and Dave need wedding dates. That is the one. Yep.
yeah, Aubrey Plaza and who else? It's the girl from
Anna Kendrick.
Anna Kendrick.
Nice.
Like they're like really trashy girls, and they want a free trip to Hawaii, so they just go and
Calm their
have
way
a
in.
have a chance meeting
Right.
and end up going to Hawaii and just like wrecking shit. It's awesome. Looks awesome.
I'd like to go ahead and place my bets and say that in the end they realize their ways and they end up falling in love.
I'm gonna go ahead and add that bet that you'll win that bet.
So your bet is that he'll win that bet.
Yeah. So my bet's the same as his bet.
My bet is going to be that Justin wins his bet, which means Nick wins his bet, which means I'm going to win my bet.
I'm gonna play the long shot and say that they end up dating each other's original dates. Nah, I don't think that's gonna happen. But
It may be like a half and half. One of them at least is going to get that one, and then the other one, I don't know, maybe could figure something out. But one of them's going to have to like end up with that girl.
okay,
Definitely, at least half a bet's right.
So you think at least one guy will end up with one girl?
Yeah.
Maybe they'll pull a switcheroo and go for the other guy's girl.
I like what Nick Stoller's been able to do, and to take Zac Efron, like in this movie we were talking about, and R-rated comedy, and like use him other than just like a pretty dude, like High School Musical 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I don't know. I like that Nick Stoller's been able to do that, and I'm excited to see Zac Efron do more going forward.
I guess he takes it really seriously. Like he goes and talks to his acting coach, and like runs over the lines and the scenes and stuff before he actually comes and films. So like he takes it, even though it's a comedy and you're supposed to be a little loosey goosey and off the cuff, he still takes it seriously like a regular acting role.
Yeah,
Which I guess it is a regular
Man of his
acting role.
craft, you know.
But I do think they kind of use him too much as eye candy. Because he's like, look, I'm going to dance and people are going to be distracted.
I think they use that in this. He's in what's Michael B. Jordan, Miles Teller.
Oh, that awkward moment.
That awkward moment. That's another R-rated one he's in, and he has a shirt on. Well, I'm sorry, he is shirtless in a scene or two, but it's not quite as bland and obvious as it is in Neighbors. But I thought it worked out well for this since he's a college kid.
Well, it's
And the
fine
dude is
also
huge.
Yeah, the guy is very well built.
Yeah.
because the movie has like, 50 attractive girls
If I
on
looked
screen
like him, I would do
all
what
the
he was
time.
doing in that movie and be shirtless the entire time.
Yeah, might as well.
I'd have ran out of shirts.
I'd burn
I'd
all
burn
my
them.
shirts if I look like that.
I'd
Didn't
hope
he?
you burn your shirts if you look like that.
I'd create a shirt that
I would
did-
just take your extra shirts because I'm not made of money, and a free shirt's a free shirt.
And you can wear ashes. We're gonna burn them all. If you
I'd
guys-
I'd go buy like a bunch of small shirts and then like impress some chick and like flex and like tear it up, tear it apart, or do the Hulkamania and just like, oh yeah,
get the peck show
Chris
going.
Waltz is gonna run wild on you, brother.
Buck wild.
Buck wild.
I do like all the original music that he puts into the movies. Like, obviously, the Dracula musical I thought was fantastic. I would actually go and see... I'd go see that on Broadway if they put that on. With the puppets. If it wasn't the puppets, I wouldn't be as excited.
Yeah.
But the practical effects, like the... What is it? Something shoots out and it's like blankets that come out and it's supposed to look like an explosion. And there's like the little bats that fly around. And it's off the chain. I would definitely really enjoy it, I think.
Him and Jason Segel are actually into like the puppets and stuff, right? I believe Jason Segel is actually a fan of that stuff. Obviously, they went on to go write and star in the Muppets.
Yeah.
Same premise. But I hear that's actually like a like a pastime of his, a hobby, or
I think you're right. I think he had started writing the Dracula musical when he was like 20.
Yeah, we watched this interview, and Nick Stoller was asked about that. So Jason didn't answer; he wasn't in the interview. But Nick said that had been a dream of Jason since he was like 20 years old. And they were like, "Well, now we have to end the movie with one of these." And
I thought it was great. Best way to end the movie ever.
yeah, definitely. I loved his song. I like that he sung it too.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like I wrote it in like some other like Shuby in this song, in the movie he's gonna sing it, but like he went up there and made that like face like, damn it, this sucks, and then really took it by the horns, accent and everything.
It was so good.
Yeah, he nailed it.
And the Muppets looks good. I don't like the Muppets at all, but I kind of want to watch the movie.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I've not seen it. The second one actually didn't even look that good to me.
I don't believe it performed as well either.
I don't think it did either.
I know Brett McKenzie from Flight of the Conchords actually had his hand in doing some of the music for Muppets. At least the first one. He was like the music or the soundtrack director, music director, some kind of musical director. And I don't know if you guys like Flight of the Conchords, but I'm a huge fan.
I like Jermaine Clement. I think can be funny. The other dude you don't really know, but their show is not so much my flavor.
As far as I'm concerned, there is no other guy. It's just Jermaine Clement.
Just Jermaine.
I think Jermaine is the talent and Brett is the writer. Like Jermaine has definitely got a better on-screen presence, but I think Brett probably has a lot more to do with the sound, like the what they like the lyrics, what they actually sing. What about the guy in Yes Man, his boss? He's in Flight of the Conchords.
Is that the English guy?
the one that wants him to go to the parties? Yeah.
Okay,
He's not
hilarious.
English. He's
that British guy?
from New Zealand. They're all from New Zealand.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
sort of
New
the same
Zealand,
thing.
whatever.
But yeah, no, he was hilarious.
Yeah. Well,
Like the whole bro stuff thing. He's like, oh, you're not mine.
yeah. Yeah, he's their manager in the show. He's actually in some of their songs too.
That's awesome. He's funny.
Yeah, he's great.
But I've only seen him in Yes Man, so.
Well, and they were together. Him and Jermaine were both in a movie called What We Do in the Shadows.
I saw trailers for that.
It was so hilarious. But you have to be into that dry humor.
Okay, because I was like, man, I
I
saw a trailer and it
loved
was
it.
just like, I don't know.
Well, you're missing out. And the director of that's who's doing Thor Ragnarok.
Like Tahiti, Wada, something.
Yeah.
Oh, he did that. What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah, and Shark versus Eagle, which are the only two that I know. I haven't even seen Shark versus Eagle, but
Huh, well, I'll give him a shot with Thor 3, but I don't know. I'm not dipping into any Concord Shadow stuff. Can't do it. Does anybody know what Stork's about that Nick Stoller's doing next?
That comes out this year, right?
if I had to guess, I'd say it's probably about storks.
Probably bird migration.
I'm going to
Definitely.
guess Stork's make an appearance at some point, definitely.
Okay, I think what it is the storks have been delivering babies forever. And then in this movie, they start delivering for, quote, Amazon. Not really Amazon, but a different website that's basically Amazon.
Right.
So the birds start delivering for them, I think.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, and then like a baby shows up or something, right? And they freak out, and some stork's like, I got to do this. So they go drop Junior off somewhere, I guess. Maybe that's the story.
I have no idea.
Something like that. I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see how he handles going from live action to animation.
Is there a trailer out for this movie already?
For storks?
Yeah.
I believe so. I think I
Okay.
saw one in theaters.
So this will be the first non-R-rated movie he's done and animated.
His first animated movie. Do we know who's the cast of this movie? Do we know in this cast? What do we got?
Storks. I think Kelsey Grammer makes an appearance.
Oh, we got, Kelsey
Is
Grammer.
it Andy Samberg?
Yes.
Andy Samberg's in that one?
Key and Peele, which I'm really excited
Oh,
for.
yeah, dude, I
You put
can't-
Key and Peele in anything, and I get
They're
excited.
pretty. I like. Who's the tall one?
Key
I,
Michael Key.
I really like
Yeah,
him.
yeah, you're right.
I think he's hilarious.
Yeah, I think
Peele I
he's-
don't follow so much.
I actually think he's in Whose Line Is It Anyway now?
yeah, you're right.
I saw that at work. It was
He's
on
in-
in the break room.
He's had small roles everywhere. He's in Role Models for a few scenes. He's in
Isn't he in Let's Be Cops?
Let's Be
He's
Cops.
like the Rastafarian guy. Or
Yeah.
something.
He's definitely, I think he's funnier than Peele, but
Horrible Bosses 2. He's like one of the guys on that show that they're promoting their product on in the beginning.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's on nickkirkdale.com. And he's like, I didn't catch that. And they're like, nickkirkdale.com. He's like, I'm positive I'm hearing that wrong.
He had a voice in Hotel Transylvania too, I think. But
I think he tends to run with Sandler's crew most of the time.
yeah.
Like in his cinematic appearances. Well, not all of them, obviously. Let's Be Cops was not one, but I know he did, like Hotel Transylvania. I think he's in one of the Grown Ups movies. I thought Grown Ups 2.
What's Hotel Transylvania?
Is that animated one? You know about like
That's
Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, the Mummy.
That's a Sandler movie?
It's got Sandler and all his
Oh,
buddies.
yeah.
David Spade's in it. Steve Buscemi.
So it's a Happy Madison animated movie?
I don't know if it's a production of theirs. I would assume so. I haven't seen it to confirm, but it's definitely that crew. Yeah.
The two best Happy Madison movies I've ever seen are the two movies without Adam Sandler.
What?
Yeah, it's what are they? Joe Dirt
Grandma's Boy.
and Grandma's Boy.
I think I've seen Grandma's Boy too many times for it to be funny for me anymore.
Yeah, but it was funny at one time.
It was very funny at one time. Very underrated for me.
Grandma's Boy. Yeah. No, it was definitely the first time I saw it. I think I was like, but it definitely, as I watched it, 2-3 times, I was like, okay, I see where we're at.
Either of you see Gulliver's Travels?
Yeah, it was all right. I mean,
It's a remake now, right?
yeah. I can only handle Jack Black so much.
He's really hit and miss. I feel like when he's good, he's really, really
Yeah,
awesome.
when he's there, he's awesome.
He is shoddy though. Yeah, you're right. Definitely.
I mean, there's a few of them for me. I don't know. Like I like School of Rock. I don't know why that's always stuck with me.
Year
Saving
one.
Silverman.
Oh, Saving Silverman's one of my favorite
Yeah,
comedies
that's
of all
hilarious.
time.
Genius movie.
Yeah.
He's not too bad in King Kong.
See, I thought he was totally out of place in King Kong.
I will agree. I just thought he did okay. Like I could tolerate it. It wasn't the worst part of the movie.
No, he was not the worst part of the movie.
Well, did you see Bernie?
I heard it was good, but I did not.
It seems like the role Jack Black was born to play. He fits the role really, really well. The movie wasn't all that exciting to me.
It was well received, at least on his performance.
Yeah, his performance was great. And then
Is that the one with like Shirley MacLaine? I think is in it.
I don't
don't
remember.
remember
I
the
only
other-
watched like half of it.
Yeah, I don't remember the whole thing. Isn't Emily Blunt in Gulliver's Travels too?
Yeah.
Who is she?
She's the lead of 5 Year Engagement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's like the queen.
Nick
of-
Stoller movie being written, and she managed to make her way into one of his productions.
Well, just like Nick Stoller wrote Sex Tape. Jason Segel's in that.
That wasn't too bad. It was better than I thought.
I thought she wrote Sex Tape. I thought what's her name wrote it? Amy Schumer.
She wrote Trainwreck.
Oh, who was
Yeah.
in Sex Tape?
Sex Tape is Cameron Diaz, Jason Segel,
Same two from Bad Teacher.
and he's like, "It's nobody knows the cloud," and because they like film it, and she's like, "You
Oh.
should delete it," and he's
He
like,
wrote
"Totally."
that?
Like
Was that
every
good?
dude, and then it was okay.
Oh, that looked terrible.
It was not amazing.
Man, I got
But
those
it
two
wasn't too bad.
mixed up. I thought Trainwreck was the one he did.
No, Trainwreck's better than Sex Tape.
Well, yeah, Sex Tape looked terrible.
Yeah,
Train-
that Trainwreck-
So was Bad Teacher, though, to be fair.
I thought Bad Teacher was really. I thought
What?
Bad Teacher. I think
Bad Teacher's the worst bad blank movie there is. Like,
Really?
Bad Santa, amazing.
Bad Boys, amazing.
Bad Boys. What? There's another one coming out that looks kind of good.
With bad in it.
Yeah.
Bad
what-
News Bears.
You know what I'm talking
Both
about?
of me.
There's that badass movie with Danny Trejo on Netflix.
Don't make jokes.
Sorry.
Bad Words. Jason Bateman.
Is that any good?
That is hilarious.
I thought it didn't do well. I was like,
I don't care if it
know,
did well.
man.
It was
Like,
funny.
It didn't look good to me, but I'd give it a shot.
I really enjoy it.
Know what I'm watching tonight?
Jason Bateman, for the most part, is pretty dominant. There's a few times that I'm like, too much.
You saw it?
I just meant Jason Bateman. Sorry.
Oh yeah, it's great. He's got this like friendship with this little Indian kid that's just so hilarious. I don't know.
I like him in most of the stuff he does.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch Arrested Development,
See, I didn't like Arrested Development, but he's in Couples Retreat. He's in,
Jason Bateman.
yeah, Jason Bateman.
He's
He's in that
the-
one. He's in like 2 or 3 movies.
Horrible
Jennifer
Bosses.
Aniston.
He's
Horrible
in-
Bosses
yeah, the
one.
two
Yeah,
Horrible
it's
Bosses.
hilarious. Where the Miller? No, I'm sorry.
I
That's
had a brain
ridiculous.
lapse. Okay.
the other one was Bad Moms. That's what I was trying to find out. And that one looks okay. Mila
Yeah.
Kunis,
Okay. Yeah, that doesn't look
Just
bad.
not bad teacher.
Kristen Bell, and
Kristen Bell, yeah, she's amazing.
I don't know, the one chick from
Catherine Hahn.
Catherine Hahn, if any of you know who she is.
My
She's in a lot of
eyesight's not
stuff.
that good.
Yeah, thank God, not Katherine Heigl.
Yeah, definitely.
Forget her.
Yeah,
man.
she's kind of sucks, right?
Well, I started hating her when she started talking bad about Knocked Up.
Really? She had some shit to say?
She hated it. It didn't go the direction she wanted it to. That's
she thought
why.
it was like sexist.
Yeah, she was really,
It
really
portrayed
unhappy
women
with it.
as bitchy and all this stuff, and it's like,
So it was honest.
honestly, Knocked Up is from a guy's point of view. Like,
I guess like you read
Hold
the
on,
script
did you
before you
just-
sign on.
did
Like
you
you
just say it was
should have
honest?
seen.
Yeah, it was a completely honest movie.
She should have seen that coming. You read it before you sign on. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like if she didn't pick up on it while she was reading, and she should have known signing on with an Apatow production. I mean, I guess he wasn't like the most established dude at the time, but like, I had to figure it was gonna.
You didn't
Be a
watch
little
his
crazy.
movies. You signed on to work with a director that you haven't seen his movies. You don't know what he's going to do with the characters. The guys are going to smoke weed and be lazy.
She
The
should've
chicks
looked-
are going to
yeah.
be bitchy and overbearing.
She should have looked at her co-star list and be like, Jonah Hill, Seth Rogen, Jason Segel. Like,
But she was still a strong, independent woman. She was working right, getting that promotion at her job.
and I didn't think she
Apatow.
did
Well,
bad.
that's Apatow, but yeah, you're right.
I didn't watch that movie and go, oh man, Katherine Heigl. I'm having trouble totally getting.
She
out
was the
when
turd in the movie.
You thought she was the turd in the movie?
I don't know. She didn't.
She did.
She
good
could have been
in what-
easily replaced. She wasn't spectacular. She was nothing special. She brought nothing that no other actress could have brought.
She just portrayed the bitchy pregnant woman role really good.
She held her
I
own,
guess.
and in my opinion, that's probably the biggest movie she's got.
That's
Like,
Yeah.
the best movie she's
yeah,
got.
oh by far.
That
I
was the
just-
high point of her career, and then after that, it just went lowball,
Grey's Anatomy, yeah.
lowball romantic comedy after lowball romantic comedy.
I think she was on Grey's Anatomy. I think is where her like,
Yeah, God.
maybe like the big break.
Who didn't get their break on Grey's Anatomy? Jesus Christ! You know, actually, Knocked Up was the first time I saw Jason Segel.
Yeah, I saw him in that, and I thought he was pretty funny. And then he showed up in everything.
He was the first. That was the first thing I saw him that I liked him in.
Did you see Freaks and Geeks or something?
Well, I love Freaks and Geeks. I mean, he's the first. That was the first time I saw him and recognized him. So I saw him in that movie and then started to recognize him.
Right.
You know, sometimes you see actors and then once you realize who they are, you go back.
See him everywhere.
Like, who is the guy in The Hangover that's everywhere now?
Can the
The main guy.
Zach Galifianakis.
Not the main guy, but the main guy's friend.
the dentist?
Not the dentist.
Ed
Bradley
Helms.
Cooper.
Oh.
Like, I didn't
Helms.
recognize him
Everyone. We named everybody, but
until I saw The Hangover, and then I went back and, like, he's in Wedding Crashers. And
yeah, and he's the dick in that. He doesn't play bad guy very
It was
often.
Wet Hot American Summer. If you can go.
And then
that
went
far
back to that. Yeah, like what a bro.
yeah, he's awesome.
He went back to the Limitless TV series that came out. Like he played the same guy.
Yeah,
And I was like, see, that's cool, man. Like
he's
to me,
like
that's-
3-time Oscar nominated too. The dude's a man.
He's really good.
B-Rad Cooper. Yeah.
Did you guys ever watch Freaks and Geeks?
I did a little bit. I've seen. My roommate watched it, and I just popped in and out, and it was okay. Linda Cardellini's in it.
Yeah, we liked it. It's got that John Francis Daly. He's like the young curly-haired kid, and now
Oh,
he's
yeah.
like he's writing everything, man.
I
He's a good.
I like
comedy
the
writer.
tall. I like the tall geek.
The glasses.
Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff now, but he's never like a big role. But
He was just in an episode of How I Met Your Mother that I watched last night.
well, he wasn't just in that. That was a
No,
long
no,
time
no.
ago.
I'm saying, yeah, not just in. I'm saying I watched that episode for the first time.
Yeah, right after Freaks and Geeks is where Nicholas Stoller got his big break for Undeclared,
Now, do you know
which
what
wasn't as good as Freaks and Geeks for sure.
what is Undeclared? I do not know much about it.
It's a show where they're in college and their major is undeclared. Right? They haven't declared a major, and it's just about college kids hanging out.
Now, does it feature any of our
Any of his
big-
regulars?
Yeah,
Siegel, I think that's where he met Jason
his usual
Siegel.
suspects?
I think Siegel was in it, and then from not World's End, from This Is the End, Jay, the skinny whiny guy,
Okay,
he's
yeah.
in it. Rogan, Adam Sandler for some reason has a cameo in that show. It was a good show, but it definitely wasn't Freaks and Geeks.
It says here that Nicholas Stoller is working on an animated Captain Underpants movie.
Yes.
First off, I am so excited for that. I loved Captain Underpants.
Books
My
were
kid
awesome.
loves
Yeah.
Captain Underpants.
who doesn't?
I can't wait to see that. That is
That
gonna
bald
be,
guy running around in his underwear. What's not to
like
like?
it's this crazy comic book character created by Harold and George. Like they're making up this stuff. Awesome.
Is that what was the plot? I can't remember.
Remember the book was Harold and George, the school kids, have this comic book that they call Captain Underpants, and their high school teacher turns into it if he hears a word or snap or maybe some winter soldier like 17, cargo,
Homecoming.
yeah, whatever,
Freight car.
freight 19,
Benign.
or something, and all the villains are based on like their teachers and stuff. And then so you're reading this book about Harold and George writing the comic book that you're reading kind of thing, I think is how it was. Kind of weird fourth wall Deadpool kind of shit going on. But totally excited.
That'll be really awesome if he can pull it off.
Yeah, and it's got like, some like 15 books now. It's quite the series.
I'm pretty sure according to IMDb, like Kevin Hart, Ed Helms, like there's some big names attached to this Captain Underpants. I don't know who's who, but
Right. I am super excited.
I like to see that he can do kid stuff and adult stuff. Like you would think doing R-rated comedies about dicks would take him out of the running for doing Captain Underpants and
Yeah.
Storks. But no, I mean, he seems like he's doing good.
Turns out he's got a kid side.
Muppets probably had a dick joke in it, and then they were like, "Do you think you could write that out?" And he was like, "You sure you don't want one in there?" Like
He had just one dick joke.
It's just one Disney. Come on. Like, sorry.
Disney. Does Disney own Muppets?
I thought Disney did the Muppets movie.
Really?
I
Thought
think
Disney
it's
backed
through
them?
maybe one of their. Is it Disney's The Muppets
Dude,
or one of their sub branches?
I don't think it's Disney's The Muppets.
Did
Well,
you
the show
get?
was
I
on
thought it
ABC, right?
Like
And
some of
ABC's
the
owned
like
by
live
Disney.
action movies have like Disney, but they don't say Disney's. The Muppets was on the channel ABC, which is owned by Disney.
That
Is
was
it?
that was my. I think my only connection to it. I'm not sure if it was branded as so or not. Do not know.
Did you hear about Netflix getting exclusive rights to Disney stuff?
Yeah, Marvel, Star Wars, things like that.
Yeah, well, Disney, like
Everything.
Disney
Right.
is only going to do Netflix. So that's gonna be crazy. It's gonna take subscribers from Hulu over to Netflix. You would think because there's so much.
Yeah, you got
That Disney
Pixar,
does.
Marvel, Star Wars, Disney classics, all that stuff.
So if Disney has any other stuff on Hulu and stuff, it will no longer be there, or they do not have any on those at all now.
I don't know.
Okay.
I can't tell you.
I don't know if they were pulling from every other thing and just being Netflix only, or if they're just making this deal like, we don't have anything yet, and we're going to give it, but only on Netflix.
They have very limited stuff on Netflix right now.
That's what. Well, yeah, I knew that.
Like I know, like Hercules is on there. Maybe like a Dalmatians movie or something. There's a few things on there, but never.
the whole like vault is being
Yeah,
opened,
yeah.
and they're just like gonna throw it on. That's like enough for like a channel. Well, I mean, they have a Disney channel, but like a
See,
Marvel channel.
Yeah, they got their
Star
stuff on
Wars
there,
channel.
but
That's awesome.
not the awesome movies we want to see.
Well, it's good that Disney's doing that instead of trying to get its own streaming service
Jeez.
because there's so many streaming services already.
Yeah,
There's
why don't
only
they just
3
have a
that are
Disney
worth
app?
it.
You would think.
Yeah, Disney's the only one without an app, or is there one?
There's probably one. There's one on the Xbox.
I'm
Disney
sure there's
Channel
some
app.
Disney. Yeah.
So you can watch all of your favorite.
Oh, well, channel app.
Like PBS has an app.
But
Disney Channel has an
speaking of Netflix, I guess Stoller's going to be doing his own Netflix series. Him and his wife are going to be directing, producing, something like
app.
that.
Awesome.
It's going to be 8 30-minute episodes, and he said it's going to run like a 4-hour movie. Like, there's not 8 story arcs. It's just one big, long, binge-watching story.
Like if Lord of the Rings was like 8 parts.
Yeah, because
Awesome.
Netflix asked him how many episodes they were going to do, and he said, "What's the fewest amount I can do?" And they said 8. You have to have at least 8. So he's going to try to stretch that into one big plot.
6 parts, Lord of the Rings, right?
Well, when counting The Hobbit.
Right, isn't that 6? 3 Hobbits, 3 Lord of the Rings.
No, it said I wasn't counting The Hobbit.
You said 8 though.
Yeah, so like
He's
if Lord of
saying
the
cut
Rings
the
had-
3 movies into 8 clips.
Oh, I'm confused on your division of these movies.
Okay.
Go on, go
All right.
on. You just confused your co-host. First time, you're already blowing my mind. Stop it.
2 of the 3 were on track. That one's on you. You dropped the ball.
Nicholas Stoller, what's it about? Do you know?
I have no idea.
We don't. It's just,
I'm sure it's going to be some kind of rom-com.
When's it air? Do you know? This year.
I have
next
no
year?
idea. I was listening to a podcast that came out maybe a month ago, and it said they were just getting ready to start on it, so I don't think it's going to be anytime soon.
I like that Netflix is able to draw big names to
It's a place to be.
their production service.
Yeah, we don't even use cable.
No. Why? Why would we?
There's no
I don't
reason.
have it. I have Netflix and HBO Go, and I am good.
So you mean I got to watch commercials and I don't get to pick what and when I watch?
TV is too hard to watch now with all the streaming service. There's no commercials now. I watch TV and I can't make it through
Yeah,
one 30-minute episode, man.
Apps are really coddling us on that. Like I was the same way. So watching TV now in my living situation, it's like, what's this commercial doing here? Why are we not on an app somewhere? You know,
You still get commercials on Hulu.
don't watch Hulu.
But you also get the new episodes to Hulu, which is really what the price is for, I guess, or what the commercials are for.
Instead of waiting around for Netflix to throw it all up 2 years later.
And then YouTube's just getting way oversaturated with commercials.
Really?
I can't stand all the ads on YouTube. And they're getting longer and longer, and you can skip less and less of them. And then it's like, pay every month so YouTube doesn't have any commercials.
Is that like what YouTube Red is or something? No commercials?
Yeah. And you can play it in the background so you can minimize YouTube on your phone while you still listen to the audio.
My phone brings it up to me all the time. It's like, do you want to do this? I think I'd let you know if I did.
Yeah, let me know a couple times, and then just know that I know that it's an option. Quit reminding me. Especially Windows. Yeah, I know Windows 10 is out. I know it's free. I'm fine right where I'm at. Leave me alone. Stop bugging me. Don't automatically schedule an update.
And stop being sneaky, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, didn't they schedule an update for you?
Yeah, they've been doing this new thing where they basically set up where they schedule an automatic update, and you have to actually go in through 3 or 4 windows to cancel the automatic update.
Be a
So
pain
make
in
sure
my
you're
ass.
aware of that, sinners.
Forget that, man.
Yeah, if you got Windows and if you got Windows 8 and it keeps popping up telling you it's gonna update, pay attention. It might just do it without your permission.
Parents just went through some Windows 10 crap from Windows 8.
Did it delete all their files?
I don't know. I think it caused more internet problems more than anything. I don't know. I tried not to listen too much. It was just annoying. But it did cause problems. Something to look out for, sinners. Because they'll get you. Give them an inch, they'll walk all over you. Nicholas Stoller has yet to do a trilogy. Did you think Neighbors could provide one? I don't know what you would do without it dipping into some sort of like stereotypical sequel cliche thing, but
They went through a lot of ideas for Neighbors 2, so maybe they could rehash one of those. Like there was one version of the script where the sorority moves in, gets kicked out, and then a fraternity moves in and is worse than the sorority. And then there was another one where swingers moved in next door. So they said they had a bunch of different drafts. They said it was a really hard nut to crack, so I can't imagine them trying to push their luck.
I got you.
Because trilogies are hard in comedy. I mean, you've got Cornetto trilogy, which only works because it's 3 separate stories. You know, we don't need to see Shaun of the Dead 3 times.
But then you have like the Hangover trilogy. Everyone didn't like number 2 because it was just like number 1, and when they got something different, they liked it even less.
Oh, I
number
hated
3?
2 and 3.
I liked them all 3 as films. I don't know, like I didn't care that the second one played it safe while making it funny. I can't blame them for that. Can't say I would do any different. And then the third one, it got different and creative, and I was a fan of that too. I don't know. Maybe I suck at rating comedy movies. Sinners, tell me if I suck.
Well, I think they could have just funneled their collective talents into something a little more original, But whatever. I'm sure it made money.
Right? He's got all these connections. Surely somebody can come up with something.
Right.
Made all these friends. That whole rat pack. Apatow, get on it. Figure something out.
Yeah.
Now, I know Apatow produces a lot of this stuff. Does he actually have a whole lot of say? Do we know? Or is he just like, hey, I'm helping you fund this movie, go nuts, do what you want? Or does he have to do they check in with Judd and
I think he's really part of the joke process. I think, Robert Downey Jr. said he would sit there with his director, him, and the producer, and they would be like, okay, let's get it to where we want to be. I think Judd Apatow also helps in that.
I think he definitely helps, but I don't think it's necessarily overbearing. I think he would probably come in, and this is just an assumption, and make suggestions, and then ultimately I think it's still Stoller's movie, so he can make the final decision.
Yeah, I don't think he's that picky about it at all.
he seems like a pretty loose, creative talent to work with, and definitely more of a helper than,
A hindrance.
a hindrance.
Right.
All right, you guys want to wrap this up?
Yeah. So Sinners, today we looked over the Neighbors movies, 5-Year Engagement, Get Him to the Greek, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, all directed by Nicholas Stoller. Neighbors 2 is out in theaters. Go see it. Apparently we loved it. We like all his work.
Apparently we loved it.
Apparently, I'm speaking for everyone. I have not seen it.
You couldn't make it to the theaters today, Chris?
I was seeing X-Men today.
Oh, so you went to the theaters even though we're doing our X-Men review next week.
My date didn't want to see Neighbors 2. She wanted to see X-Men. There was nothing I could do. She tied my hands, man.
You were doing homework we haven't even assigned you yet.
Yeah, you're getting ahead of the game.
But we will. Look out for that, Sinners.
Yeah, next week we should have a X-Men Apocalypse? Yeah, X-Men Apocalypse review. We're also going to go back and
Don't
watch.
mind the inflection on that. It was a
The only
statement.
reason I'm confused is because I actually haven't seen Days of Future Past or First Class, which I'm going to
out.
go back and watch this week for the episode.
Yes, you will. So, sinners, make sure you comment, rate, like, subscribe, share us in any way possible.
Tweet at us.
Tell us what you think about Nicholas Stoller, his movies. Tell us which one's your favorites. We all know that both the Neighbors movies probably are. So,
You can't say that. You haven't even seen the second one.
So we're going to ignore what Cinaman Tyler just said. So make sure you tell us what you think.
What's your favorite Stoller movie? Why does it get him to the Greek? Leave a comment below.
You could also comment your favorite Cineman and why it's not Tyler.
You can also tell me how good I was. Thank you.
Yeah, Nick, you were great. Thanks for being on. We look forward to having you for future episodes.
I'm excited. This is going to be good. Our fans are excited. They spoke.
All of them. All the fans.
All the fans spoke.
Both of them.
All 2 fans spoke.
Look, as long as it was a unanimous on both of them.
Oh, yeah, across the board.
It was a clean sweep.
You're 2-0, man. You're undefeated.
That's perfect score. Right.
Yeah,
Batting
yeah.
1,000. I like it.
I like that. But
Well, thanks for tuning in, sinners. We really appreciate it. Make sure you give us a rating and a review on iTunes. It really, really helps us out. Even if you don't use your iTunes account, please go check it out and say some good things about us. We like to hear it. Keeps our spirits up, and don't be a dick.
Support the podcast.
Hit my knee.